Oh.
Yeah, but I didn't get under it.
Had you not hit the pin, I'd gone over the green.
Yeah.
Okay.
I should go more off my left foot, I know that.
Okay. Same stroke you were doing a while ago. It's just going to be a stronger stroke more than likely, but you're going to have to guess. Okay. Now you use that information to guess, change your guess with another practice stroke. Okay.
Rick, we worked on only one type of chip shot, and that's when you were close to the green in the shorter cut grass, what I call the fairway cut or fringe cut. And you started out with your little chipping wedge, but then I had you hit some with your putting stroke for this type of shot, and your putter outperformed your iron club, your pitching wedge. Regardless of which club you use, you have to do two things. You have to hit it solid, and you have to guess how hard to hit it. Now, with the pitching wedge or some other iron, you have to guess how hard to hit it, but you also have to hit it solid. But sometimes that's the problem with those clubs, is you don't hit it solid. With the putter, you eliminate that element of what you have to do. You will hit it solid with the putter, but you just have to guess how hard to hit it, and that takes practice. Now, I didn't talk about the other methods of chipping other than the putter, but I do want to focus on the changes that you should work on in order to be a better chipper with an iron club like a pitching wedge. Right now, you don't have that consistency with those clubs, and therefore the putter's the better choice. But you also should start working on becoming a better chipper with the pitching wedge and 9-iron and sand wedge. And so let's talk about what you can work on in order to improve your performance in those clubs. One of the support videos I sent you was the fundamentals of chipping. But let's look at some of the things that are covered in that video and compare your technique to Tiger Woods, who's one of the better chippers on tour. And first, let's look at your setup. The most important thing in order to become a good chipper is to have a solid foundation setup. And the key to chipping well is to have the low point of your arc in front of the golf ball. What I mean by that is your golf swing is a circle, and it's going to come down, and it's going to reach its very lowest point somewhere down here, and then the club will go back up again. The location of the low point of your swing arc needs to be in front of the golf ball. Now, the way you do that, the way you position that low point in front of your golf ball, is to make sure there's more weight on your front foot than your back foot. And right now you are leaning back and putting all your weight on your right foot. And I need to have all your weight on your left foot. Here's Tiger. And if I draw that arrow up from his left ankle, you can see that this red arrow is going right through his belt buckle. The blue arrow off his right foot is not passing through his body at all. And so you need to shift your weight and have that left hip outside that foot, that left foot. And your left hip is to the inside of that foot. So you have to put more weight on your left foot when you set up. To accomplish that, you want to get your feet pretty close together, a little bit closer than you have. So you want to kind of lean towards the target as if you're putting your left shoulder against a wall. You can see that Tiger's legs and everything is leaning towards the target. And you're kind of falling backwards a little bit here. Now let's look at the swing itself. Now before Tiger takes it back, he makes sure that he has what we call shaft lean. His shaft is leaning a little bit towards the target. In other words, his hands are in front of the golf ball. That also helps promote a downward strike hitting the ball first and then the ground, and then you have your follow through. And you tend to come into level here, and you'll hit behind the ball too frequently. You'll either hit it thin, you'll reach your lowest point before you get to the ball and start back up again before you get to the golf ball, and then you blade the ball and it'll just scoot across the green. Or you'll hit the ground behind the golf ball and then just hit it 3 or 4 feet. It just doesn't go anywhere. So you want to position that low point. Now also I want you to notice how straight Tiger's left arm is and how you set up with a very bent arm. And you want to have extension in both arms. You want to feel like both elbows are very close to each other here. So you want to set up with extended arms, feet close together, lean onto the left foot, get your hands on that left side. Now as Tiger takes it back, he maintains this angle. He doesn't fall back to his back foot in his backswing. And then he comes down, and at impact right there, he's got a nice straight line from left arm and shaft. No break in his wrist or left elbow. And he maintains all this drive toward the target. That promotes that downward hit, so the club face slides under the ball. Here's the club right here. And that ball's already going up. So his club is brushing that grass under the ball, and it's still in the grass. That club is still in the grass, hasn't come out of the grass yet. And so his club is going down and under, and that ball's going straight up. So his club will bottom out in front of the ball, and then after contact, the club will start ascending upward. That ball is not going up because he's swinging up. That ball is going up because he's swinging down. And by swinging down, the face, the lofted face of the club gets under the ball. And it's the loft that makes the ball go up, not the path of the club. Let's look at your swing as you take it back. You still have the majority of your weight on this back foot. Then as you come through, your shaft is almost back here. Your hands certainly are not in front of the golf ball. And then as you come through, you got a little bit under it, but you can see how you've got all these angles. Like the back of that wrist, or that left wrist is cupping, and you're falling backwards even more. And you will certainly hit some shots okay with that technique, but the percentage of good shots will be much lower. And the percentage of shots that are hit behind the ball are going to be higher, and the percentage of shots that you blade the ball over the green will be higher when you do that technique. When you have your low point of your swing behind the golf ball, you're putting yourself at high risk to hit some bad shots. So the key, the first thing you need to get comfortable with is a new setup. Now as Tiger continues through, here's his 2 arms and the shaft. He will move his chest. At this point, his hands are right in front of his shirt buttons, his sternum, and they will stay that way all the way through. So he's not flipping his hands. His entire body is swinging that club, not just his wrist and hands. There's no cupping of that left wrist. There's no flipping the hand over. You can kind of see how you've kind of just rolled your hands over as you come through. And the butt end of your handle is right here. And so Tiger's hands are swinging past his body, and your hands are just stalling in front of your body and flipping through. the technique as you come through. Quiet hands, more of a body swing right there. This is Rory McIlroy hitting a chip shot. You can see how close he has his feet together. You can see this shaft lean in his set. He's setting his hands well in front of the golf ball so he can promote a downward hit. So he hits the ball first and then the ground. As he swings through, keeps on that left side. You're going to see his hands and chest swing as one piece right there. Just turning his shoulders, turning his chest to the ball, turning his right hip. You'll see his right knee move. So it's all it's a body swing. He has a little bit of hand action for this particular shot because he's hitting a little bit further than the one Tiger was hitting. This is Luke Donald, one of the better European players. You can see feet are close together, leaning on the left side. Chest and hands swing as a connected unit. Elbows stay close to each other. So Rick, the next time we have an opportunity to work on this, I'll show you some drills and perfect your setup and show you how to do that chest swing so that you have quiet hands and you're going to be in much better control of the golf ball.